Good afternoon. Welcome to Greensboro, North Carolina, home of Carolina Aircraft. I'm George Johnson, the Bonanza Man, and today we're here to look at a beautiful 1979 Bonanza A36 that's air-conditioned, November 1313 Whiskey. Let's take a look. November 1313 Whiskey has an IO520 285 horsepower engine with only 420 hours since Western Skyway's overhaul. The total time on the airplane is only 3,580 hours. And it has a graphic engine monitor to monitor all 6 cylinders. The airplane's equipped with factory air conditioning, and it has internal corrosion proofing from the factory. The prop on 1313 Whiskey only has 420 hours since overhaul. It was done the same time the engine was overhauled by Western Skyways. 1979 was a big change year for the Bonanza A36. That year the airplane got the extended aft baggage compartment. It also got the 24-volt electrical system that has the faster landing gear speed, and it got approach flaps, which I consider to be a safety of flight item that can be extended at the same speed as your landing gear, 154 knots indicated. And this airplane cruises at 168 knots on about 15.5 gallons an hour. It holds 80 gallons total, 74 usable of fuel, so you have about an 800-mile range with full fuel. November 1313 Whiskey got a brand new paint job and a brand new leather interior in 2007. It's been hangered and the paint is in outstanding condition. You'll see it's Matterhorn white overall with black, midway gray, and bright red stripes. A very beautiful paint scheme. The tail on November 1313 Whiskey is in very nice condition. I don't see any hail pings, I don't see any corrosion. The airplane is equipped with stainless steel screws and fasteners, and it's in outstanding condition. The annual was completed in November 2014 in Kansas City, and the airplane has original and complete logbooks, no non-damage history, and is in outstanding condition. One of my favorite features of the A36 is the big double cargo doors and reversible club seating. Let's take a look. November 1313 Whiskey has a beautiful leather interior. These seats are in gorgeous condition. So are the side walls and the window panels, and the cabin table, the headliner. This got a new leather interior in 2007, and I think it also got a new windshield at the same time. The Bonanza A36 has a very roomy cabin. I'm almost 6 feet tall, and I've got plenty of headroom. I've got plenty of elbow room, and with this armrest, it's almost like sitting in an easy chair in my living room. One of the things that most people like about the A36 is the reversible club seating and the flexibility of the cabin. These rear seats can be folded up out of the way just that easy, and with a little hook you can hook them up out of the way, or you can remove them by just pulling a pin on each seat bottom. You can remove both these rear seats in less than 30 seconds and with no tools. The center seats, you'll see, are reversible. You can turn these around forward facing, and if the rear seats are out, you have from here back for cargo. It's a huge cargo area. And this airplane has a useful load of 1,175 pounds. November 1313 Whiskey has a beautiful instrument panel that has been upgraded. It has an EFIS primary flight display and Garmin Avionics. Let's take a look. Let's take a look starting on the pilot's side. We have a standby airspeed indicator, and then we have your Aspen PFD 1000 primary flight display, and this has your airspeed tape, it has your horizon. Down here it reads true airspeed and your ground speed in knots, and then you'll see the outside air temperature. This is your barometric pressure and your vertical speed indicator, and then we have your altitude select. Down here we have your HSI, and you'll notice that you can set nav 1, nav 2, either your VOR or your GPSs, and have both on the same display. To the right of this, we have a standby attitude indicator and a standby altimeter, so you have a complete set of backup instruments. Below this, we have an annunciator test light, a master switch for your primary light display, your alternator, baggage door, and standby alternator lights. Below this, we have your Autopilot, and this has a Century 4 Autopilot that is fully coupled. It will shoot a fully coupled IFR approach, or follow the WAS altitude down on a glide path. Here's your number 2 nav indicator. This has a glide slope as well, so you have dual glide slopes. And then we have a BFG WX900 storm scope. In the center of the panel, we have the engine indications, your manifold pressure and your fuel flow, and then your RPMs and tachometer. You have your left fuel gauge, and then your cylinder head temperature, oil temperature, ammeter, and oil pressure, and your right fuel gauge. It has an Insight graphic engine monitor to monitor all 6 cylinders. And then this is your intercom system. It has an NAT intercom system. Now let's take a look at your avionics. Starting above the panel, we have a Garmin 496 GPS, and this has your XM weather display and your GPS moving map. This is your number 2 GPS. Moving on down to the regular avionics stack, we have a Collins AMR 350 audio panel with your 3 light marker beacons. And then we have your number 1 GPS Navcom, a Garmin 430W with WAS. And this has number 1 nav display, your GPS display. This has your terrain, and it will show red since we're on the ground. And then we have your information and your satellite pages. Here is your number 2 Navcom GPS. That's a Garmin 430. Now this is without WAS. The number 2 is without WAS, but it has basically the same pages you did before, except for the terrain, since it doesn't have WAS. And then we have an Avidyne FlightMax EX500 multifunction display, and this has chart view and several map pages that you can use. Below this is a Garmin 327 new generation transponder. Now let's take a look at the pilot's control wheel. In the front, we have a push to talk or mic button. On the top, we have an autopilot disconnect button, and we have a go around button to put your flight director in about a 10-degree nose-up attitude. Then the airplane is equipped with electric elevator trim. In the center, we have a control wheel clock, and this doubles as a timer to time your instrument approaches. On the right side of the control wheel, we have a pitch sync button, which is kind of like control wheel steering. And then we have a map light. This puts a light in the pilot's lap. It also lights up your outside air temperature gauge and your compass. The airplane is equipped with nice see-through sun visors that protect the pilot's eyes from the sun, but you can also see traffic through them, almost like wearing sunglasses. You'll also notice that the windows and the windshield are in very nice condition. I believe this windshield was replaced when the airplane was repainted in 2007, and so it has no crazing or no stars, and is very clear. If you want a great buy in a prime condition Bonanza A36, you need to visit Carolina Aircraft in Greensboro, North Carolina, and take a look at November 1313 Whiskey. This airplane is equipped with Garmin Navcom GPSs, the number 1 with WAS. It has an EX500 multifunction display that you can put your approach charts on. It has a PFD 1000 EFIS electronic primary flight display. It has factory air conditioning and a lot of other equipment. Come take a look at November 1313 Whiskey, or give us a call at 336-665-0300, and be sure to visit CarolinaAircraft.com to see this beautiful prime condition A36 and all of our other nice Bonanzas and Barons. Have a great day.